Welcome to another edition of 42 Straight Years In. I'm a crackhead update. I went up to 7-Eleven last night before we came in. Me and my old lady stayed out last night. We didn't make it back about 3:30. And this chick walked around the corner, buck naked. Just walked right into 7-Eleven like it ain't shit. She was doing all type of herky-jerky moves. So they called the cops. Cops came and they called the ambulance. They put her in the car. I don't know if they took her to Green Oaks, the psychiatric hospital here in Dallas County, or to jail. I don't know what the hell they did with her, but they took her away. She walked in there like it's all in a day's work. That's my crackhead update. Y'all know what it is. Get your shanks out and let's get ready to ride. Yeah, in my last video, I muffled my old buddy's name at the Ramsey unit. His name is Earl McBride. He's still at the Ramsey unit. He's been there a long time. And he's coming up for parole next year again. He just had got a set off. And his daughter reached out to me and she said, "Yeah, my dad know you." Yeah, on my channel, I got lieutenants from Texas prison system, sergeant, correctional officers. I got an active TDCJ warden and a retired warden, all on my channel. This is came from one of the subscribers. I knew about this case, but I got so much content until I haven't got around to a lot of things. You know, in a maximum security prison, if you telling the prison story, you don't have to embellish it at all. Because these fucking max joints in Texas house a lot of lifers. I mean, a lot of them. They got a few of them that's laid back. They got a few of them that's rowdy as hell. And shit happens every day. Especially a prison like Robinson, Telford, Pulaski, McConnell, Connolly. You can expect drama every motherfucking day. Cofield, Beto Warren. Well, it's the Beto unit now. They don't have the Warren. They changed it. But you can expect drama. Now, if you had a Texas prison like the Walls unit, it's laid back. They don't even allow a fight there. If you go there with that gangster shit, the inmates gonna get rid of your ass. They got a lot of high-profile guys at this prison. They got a lot of lifers. And a lot of guys who done served a long fucking time. They been into all those fucked up prisons. You ain't gonna bring that bullshit over there. You come over there trying to run the gambling or run the TV, they fixing to get rid of your ass. One of those old guys who got a good job, he gonna slide out of that cell block, ease up to the major or the gang officer and say, "Hey, we got this fucker just came over from so-and-so prison, and he trying to run shit, and they finna get rid of your ass." Just on his word, it's a wrap for you. They gonna transfer your ass out to one of the rowdy prisons, where you can be rowdy with some more rowdy people. You'll get to meet some more gangsters, just as crazy as you are. This is going to be about a guy named Joe Bryan. This is the heading. 33 years after dubious evidence helped convict him, Joe Bryan has been released on parole. His murder conviction rested largely on bloodstain pattern analysis, a technique still in use throughout the criminal justice system, despite concerns of its reliability. On Tuesday, Joe Bryan was released from prison after 33 years behind bars. "Thank you, Father, for taking care of me." He extended his hand toward the sky, his voice choking with emotion. "Hallelujah. Praise Jesus." Bryan's attorney and a large group of family members had waited outside the Texas Penitentiary in Huntsville for hours in cold, gloomy weather, craning for a view of the 79-year-old. Shortly after 11 a.m., as the sun burst through the clouds, parolees began to emerge from the prison, filing past the monolithic red brick structure that is home to the state's execution chamber. Bryan looked uncertainly ahead of him until he spotted familiar faces, then broke into a wide grin. A small bag, which a younger parolee carried for him, held all his possessions. Bryan, the subject of a New York Times Magazine investigation that questioned the integrity of the former forensic testimony used to convict him, has always maintained that he had no part in the 1985 shooting death of his wife, Mickey. Bryan was twice convicted for a murder which took place in their Clifton, Texas home. Bryan was a high school principal and had been attending an education conference in Austin, 120 miles away, in the days surrounding the murder. By his account, he was asleep in his hotel at the time of the crime. His conviction rested largely on blood-stain pattern analysis, a technique used throughout the criminal justice system. Bryan first became eligible for parole in 2007 after serving 20 years in prison. In the intervening years, the Texas Board of Pardons and Parole denied him parole on several occasions, despite his sterling disciplinary record. Bryan suffers from congestive heart failure, and the board's prior refusal to release him was seen as all but guaranteeing he would die in prison. This spring, after Bryan came up for review an 8th time, the board reversed course, and on March 19th, it agreed to parole him. The reason for the board change of heart is unknown. Its deliberations are confidential and exempt from state open record laws. By its action, followed concerted effort by his parole attorneys and his family to win his release. Bryan supporters who wrote to the parole board on his behalf included best-selling author John Grisham, who learned about Bryan's case for the New York Times investigation. The plot of Grisham's 2019 thriller, The Guardian, was based in part on Bryan's story. I strongly believe Joe is innocent, Grisham wrote to the board. Please do not allow Joe to die in prison. Now just think of all the people in prison who got all these violent cases. They ain't not going to have a John Grisham writing a support letter to the parole board. They can't afford a parole attorney. They're not going to have a legal team representing them. Now how in the fuck you going to get out of this fucking prison? Dealing with that parole board is a nightmare. It's not easy. Especially the board they got now. The governor appoints the board members. And he's not going to appoint no liberal-minded ass board member. So you can forget that. It's not going to be a liberal sitting on that parole board. And he's not going to be sympathetic to your plight. Talking about you was poor and you're a product of your environment. They don't want to hear that bullshit. Plus, they done gave several guys chances, and a lot of them come back with parole violations. So no parole board member wants to be responsible for leasing a violent offender and he go out and reoffend again. Because you can easily backtrack and see who was on that parole panel and voted for this guy's release. Now this should be a lesson to all minorities. If this is a 79-year-old white man who did not make parole, a model inmate, never had a fucking prison disciplinary. He never had one. And they go to, you think you're going to make parole? It ain't happening. That's why the recidivist rate is low in Texas. Hell, they're not releasing that many people like they used to. One time it was a revolving door. You didn't serve that much time in Texas. You served damn near 1 month on every year. So if you had a 20-year sentence, you gonna serve about 20 months and you was out of that. You was back on the streets. It's not like that now. You know, by me, worked in the warden's office and have a chance to talk to a lot of parole officers one-on-one, some of them were just straight up honest. If a guy got 20 years or less, he can expect to serve every day of that sentence. So all that bullshit by participating in the program, that is for your own benefit. That's not going to get you released. They got a catch-22 to the good time law. Some guys got 100 years worth of good time. They'll say that good time don't reflect your rehabilitation. That's the catch-22. Go figure that one out. So, you know, now you gotta have a clean record and all that shit to be eligible for parole. That just mean you eligible, you gonna talk to a parole officer. That don't mean you going nowhere. I don't give a damn how much time you serve. They got so many ways they can deny you parole. Nature and seriousness of offense is they stand by denial. You can't never change the nature and offense of the crime, even after you dead. The nature and offense of that crime still gonna be there. That's gonna never change. Now, you know, I've seen guys make some of the dumbest mistakes in the world. But you know, these guys are maximum security prison is not a damn seminary. So you can expect all type of bullshit out of these guys. Once a guy, I was standing outside of the warden's office and a guy asked me, he said, who the parole officer is? I told him, man, she a real beautiful chick. Boy, she is pretty. She had them high heels on. Boy, she looked good as hell. And she be walking around up in one building with flip-flops on when she not interviewing inmates. So this damn fool went in the parole officer, but he only had 3 more years to go on his sentence, so he don't give a fuck. He went in that parole officer, and he started masturbating on the parole officer. You know, they had the door closed. I'm out in the hallway. I can hear what's going on in that office while he was talking to her. Ooh-wee, you motherfucker, you. Woo-wee. She let him finish, then she called for security. They came, and they was taking him to lockup. It show you disciplinary don't have no teeth in it in Texas no more, because they can't use physical brutality. But back in the day, they beat him damn near to fucking death. That's what would have happened to him. And he would have got a disciplinary and a hell of an ass whooping to go along with the disciplinary. He tell the warden, just make sure you spell my name right. I don't give a goddamn. He took his identification, threw it out in the hallway. There it is, write it up. I don't give a goddamn. He going home in 3 more years, so he don't give a shit. He told the parole officer, yeah, call me back again next week. I love to interview you. So after he had left, I was there talking. She said, that guy is real crazy, boy. He had a hell of a sexual urge. I didn't want to tell this one woman, you pretty as hell. And she said, I wonder why an old convict like you don't try no shit like that. I ain't want to tell her. Because I'm fucking the warden secretary. I don't need your motherfucking ass. You think you the one who gonna release me. You think I'm finna fuck with you? You crazy in hell. I'm gonna treat you nice as a motherfucker. I'm not gonna fuck with you at all. Say nothing. Even when they would make little snide remarks, because they see me all the time. I don't feed into that bullshit. I got me an old lady up here. When every time we catch them slipping, me and her finna take care of business. These fools done ran out of money. They back at their bullshit again. We gotta stay ready for their clown ass. Y'all support me over on Patreon. Like and subscribe. And share my video. Check me out on Diamond Stone TV. And I thank you for watching.